He's made it! And Marvin Van Velzen.
Of the 5-time weekly champion.
It's Jimmy Van Schie who makes the final.
Welcome back to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge. Well, this is it, the grand final of the 8th Modus Super Series, and we're ready, and our players are ready, and it's tungsten time! So please welcome our first finest. Please welcome the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen! Please welcome to the Sequoia. He is Jimmy Van Schie!
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. This is me, I'm still on it, 'cause you all wanna be loved. Yeah, you all wanna be loved by a champion.
And this is what it all comes down to. The final of Modus Super Series 8 is a battle between a Dutch darting duo. Marvin Van Velzen about to face Jimmy Van Schie. And as we've just been talking about, their journeys have been similar, both coming through ADC European qualifiers for their opening appearances on the Super Series stage, then returning and getting closer and closer as it's gone on. Both here at a Champions Night for the first time, and both have had, well, adversity to fight back from. Van Velzen having to come through that tough semi-final. Van Schie needing that big 1-5-1 finish to turn the tables on Steve West. But the two Netherlands natives are here. One of them will be £25,000 richer at the end of this game. The setting is the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, and your commentary team once again are Paul Nicholson and Glenn Durrant.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris, and super excited for two fantastic young players from Holland. Very similarities in their stories, how much they know of each other. It's hard to tell if you look at the back, but that's what they are playing for. That and £25,000 to set up their legacy here at the Modus Super Series in a competition that hasn't gone perfect for them. Both, as Chris alluded to, lost their opening games of the night. Both had very special moments. And the man coming to your picture, the 1-5-1 finish when he looked down and out, was a real highlight. And
108!
A decent start, Paul.
Doesn't get more decent than that. Well, think about the Dutch players that have walked into this building. None of them have won a series. Until now. Christian Kist, world champion. Jelle Klaassen, world champion. Wesley Plaisir, world master.
44.
There's 3 examples for you. None of them are going to do what these guys are doing tonight. Maybe they will in the future, but the first Dutch winner of a title here
140.
is going to be one of these guys.
Yeah, and I think both of them, I mean, the Jimmy Van Schie, 13 years ago he was doing really well in the boys events, and I thought he was going to have a very bright future.
Marvin, you require 164.
Clearly took time away, but Marvin Van Velzen, this Modus Super Series stage is really suiting him, and he's first down to a finish, but not really what
44.
he wanted. It's advantage Jimmy.
Jimmy, you require 137.
Is there anything he can't hit? Apparently a 137 can't be hit. Or maybe he's just waiting until he's 3-1 down.
59. Marvin, you require 120.
Best of 7 legs once again. One last time in Series 8.
Yeah, there seems to be more composure, doesn't there, with Marvin? It just takes his time on this 120. Can't find
60.
that treble that he needed.
Jimmy, you
And
require
on 78, Jimmy will expect the dart at tops. Or will he hit the treble 18, which is the target he's going for? Stay straight, and it is that tops.
Wow.
Honestly,
Marvin, you require 60.
That was low and left. That was a wide. Marvin's trying to leave the same double. He gets a different result.
First leg, Marvin Van Velzen.
He won the darts and he's used them very effectively after a little bit of a scare.
Second
Now,
leg, it's Jimmy to throw first.
one thing that needs to be addressed is history. Look through the previous 7 series.
96.
On 6 occasions, the winner has come from Group 2. Marvin is from Group 2. And more often than not, the person who finishes second
100.
in Group 2 wins the title. It's happened 4 times. Marvin finished second.
I just think that the belief is seeping out of Marvin at the moment, but Jimmy Van Schie's a scrapper. He's a fighter. Like I said, the crowd been very honest again in this game. I thought it was going to be quite explosive, but everyone's just sitting back and watching 2 young players giving it absolutely everything.
The one thing you're not going to get from Jimmy is panic.
162.
Look at that. How did he get that 3rd dart in there? It actually finished higher than the other 2.
When we talk about Modus Super Series legacy, we automatically think of Luke Littler.
23.
Well, he's just won his
Jimmy,
game,
you require
and
143.
he often does watch the Modus Super Series, and he'd be watching 2 who were trying to emulate what he did. Jimmy Van Schie's looking good to level up.
102.
Job well done. Good setup play.
Yeah, 66 points left and goes for Bull. 25 is not a bad play.
140.
41 gives you
Jimmy,
options.
You require 41.
And he might stay away from tops this time. He's going to go over the top like he did earlier on. And it's worked again.
Second leg, Jimmy Van Schie.
He looks cool, doesn't he? Series 8 has not got many darts left in it.
To throw first.
Remember the end
on.
of the last series? The best finish we've ever seen to finish a series. 121 from Andreas Harrison.
60.
And poor Cameron Crabtree was sitting on 4-4 for the title. And if it wasn't for that pesky bullseye, it would have been possibly another English winner.
140.
Well, tonight is really flip-flops. Players going 3-1 ahead and losing games. And this one, the tide's turning. Marvin he come out, he looked so solid, so good in that opening leg. He looked over to his
85.
Marvin army, just give him a little wink. But all of a sudden, it's Jimmy that's turned the screw. Remember, this is on the throw of Marvin Van Velzen. And Jimmy can't seem to miss that treble 20 bet at the moment.
This is not just a battle of 2 Dutch players for the title. It's a battle of someone winning their week to get here this week from the first half
55.
and somebody from the second half.
Yeah, I'm looking at my website where I get all my numbers, all my stats, and I'm looking at a very young Marvin Van Velzen and a very, very young Jimmy Van Schie. It'll be boys to men. Whoever wins this one, their first reel, and it sets them up maybe to go to Q skill or give them all the confidence. I last saw Marvin Van Velzen at a European
96.
tour, and he loved every second
Jimmy,
of
you
it.
require 167.
But it is advantage Jimmy.
60.
It is somewhat. He's a visit ahead. But Marvin has somewhat slowed down here in leg 3.
Yeah, he seems to be dictating that pace, doesn't he? May go the bullseye with the last.
99. Jimmy, you require 107.
Oh, this is chicken feed compared to some of the shots he's hit this week. 51 needed.
55.
These are the moments.
Marvin, you require 106.
If you can thrive in moments like this, it might be your night.
But they're the types of finishes that you
50.
practice, you replicate
Jimmy,
for
you
moments
require
like that.
52.
It hasn't happened for Marvin. And Jimmy, big number double. The times he's hit this finish in his life, this time he decides just to stand back, refresh. Little nod of the head, eyes on the prize.
He's not moving this time.
20.
I'm not going to say that he should have.
56.
He just missed the double. And things could swing back to Marvin now if he finds 56. Interestingly, Jimmy dodged tops in the last couple of legs. Marvin can't.
Game's on a third leg.
That's the biggest celebration we've seen from him all week. In fact, the biggest we've seen since he won his
Fourth
week
leg. It's Jimmy to throw
in week
first.
10.
Game on.
That'll be a big adrenaline spike. How does he manage it? Look at him in the background, just trying to calm down for 2 or 3 seconds. That's very mature.
100.
No reaction there from Jimmy. When you're playing an opponent, your mind goes to someone like Gerwyn Price when they're screaming and shouting in front of you. I used to love it.
100.
Well, how's he going to manage that adrenaline going through his body? Well, he went, looked at the curtain, went through his same process, and smashes in a 180. And Jimmy says, take that.
Jimmy is almost impossible to get rid of.
60.
Tidy game.
Everybody's enthralled by this.
Yeah, it's a tidy game. The 180s are flowing nicely right now.
140.
Both players looking really confident. That trophy's on the left-hand side of that stage there. Sometimes you can just get a glimpse and realise what you're playing for. It was interesting to hear one of the players in Connor Scott saying
100.
he'd rather have the trophy than the money.
81.
Let me tell you, the 25 grand prize as Jimmy looks at this 81. He'll go on he should go on the 12s. That's confident for double 16.
Game's on a fourth leg. Jimmy Van Schie.
Here's a question for you. Does Jimmy Van Schie still believe?
Fifth leg. It's Marvin to throw
That is a
first.
silly question.
Game on.
Of course he does. Best of 3.
I think
Well-
you're absolutely right, Paul. He just won't. He's like a little dog at the
121.
ankles, isn't he? He doesn't go anywhere. I think you're absolutely spot on with the analogy of how Jimmy Van Schie plays this game.
If Jimmy's a dog,
60.
he's a bit like a Cane Corso or a Great Dane, but he's a great Dutchman.
He's a big lad, isn't he? But he utilises it well. I like his throat.
59.
I like his fight, his tenacity, and look at the crowd. They're enthralled. They're engrossed. One moment it's Marvin, the next minute it's Jimmy.
Doesn't like the lie.
130.
As soon as that dart flattens out a little bit, he believes he can't hit that treble 20 without any other risk. I saw Jordan Matthews on our video package before this of comical moments of Series 8, and he had darts on the floor, and Jimmy wisely stayed away from that possibility.
Yes, it was a fantastic reel out of the funny moment. Nothing funny
58.
about the situation right now. Two young Dutch players just giving it absolutely everything. Who will be the first Dutchie to be a Modus Super Series champion? Like I say, it's going from
139.
one player to the next. I am none the wiser.
I'm guaranteed to get at least 6 legs in this final.
140. Marvin, you require
The least
G2.
popular result in finals is 4-2. We've only had that once, and that was when Littler beat Osborne. That's nice. That's even
Game's on
nicer.
a fifth leg. Marvin
He
Van
needs
Velzen.
one more leg to be champ.
Sixth leg. It's Jimmy to throw first.
If I had any advice
Game
on
on.
Marvin, he's looking over what... Yeah, he's just sort of saying he's very Dimitri Vandenberg. I like the when he just looks at the curtain and gets his thought process together.
58.
You train your mind for success. He's played this leg of darts in his mind 1,000 times. But now it's reality. And he's looking good at managing it as well. There's no real sign of nerves.
85.
You can get that wobble when you see the winning line.
He was on the move on dart 3 there, though. Is there another act of
100.
escapology on the cards from Jimmy?
What a night.
But not getting the darts in the practice room via the
100.
only bullseye shootout the entire week, is that going to be the thing that costs Jimmy? He's averaging nearly 99 in this game.
96.
He's had 3 maximums. Marvin, a good 7 points behind. All he's needed to do in this final is get a shot. He's 3 out of 3 on the doubles.
45. Jimmy, you require 167.
But he's not guaranteed a 4th dart to double if Jimmy keeps pulverizing that 60.
100.
That'll do.
Once again, that last dart. That's been a real highlight. Marvin could and should start downstairs on 271. He does that. He needs the treble up. And he would have gone up to the bullseye area then to leave a finish.
Jimmy,
It
you
looks
require
like we are
67.
going all the way.
Are we, Jimmy? You bet we are.
Sick leg. Jimmy Van
One
Schie.
leg to see who the champ is. For the 2nd consecutive
Seventh and
series,
final leg.
we go
It's
to leg
Marvin
7.
throw first. Game
It was
on.
Raymond Smith that won 4-3 in Series 2 with a checkout of 96 to beat Matt Clark. And earlier this year, it was Andreas
96.
Harrison who beat Cameron Crabtree with the best finish ever seen here in Portsmouth. What will be the next chapter?
This is the moment you practice for. You can't replicate it into
59.
practice. The adrenaline, your thought, your mind's going elsewhere. You're a leg away. It's advantage Van Velzen once again. 40 points ahead plus them. In a decided leg, Marvin Van Velzen. That is classy. That's the X factor.
Jimmy's probably thinking right now, I don't think I can catch him.
57.
We haven't had a break of throw in this final.
Now Marvin's just thinking, just one treble. Doesn't really want to fly around the dartboard to the 18s of the bullseyes. Doesn't need to. But you have to on that finish.
85.
Or treble 15 even, Paul.
I really, really like that. Because he knows if he hits the treble 15, his next visit, he'll want a ton. Doesn't necessarily want to take this out. He just wants to line up the shot for the title.
140.
The difference in this game could have been about 20 minutes ago when they were going closest to the bullseye. Should go downstairs. Does go downstairs. Just a small opening for Jimmy. He's had moments like this tonight and then pinged in a 180. He's already had 3 180s in this game. Boy, does he need one now.
You're not kidding. But the man with the biggest watch in the place has now got more time than maybe he's
100.
ever had to win any
Marvin, you
title.
require 100.
He's within 2 darts of winning Super Series 8. He'd love a treble 20 with the first dart or the second, but all he's going to do is line it up.
60.
He's sensible. He's got an old head on young shoulders as Marvin Van Velzen. And what a moment for him. You can just see him. He's replayed this type of moment in his mind a million times. Are you up for the
95.
job, Marvin?
Marvin, you require 40.
Time to find out. Double top.
20.
3 championship darts missed. And
you
Jimmy Van
require
Schie is on a
130.
ton plus checkout yet again. 151 earlier to save his skin. Can he do it one more time? Treble 20 must be found. Not this time, and Marvin comes back for 10s.
That was his moment. He'll have fancied his
90.
chances, but what he has done is got
Marvin, you
plan
require
B. He's
20.
given himself a dart, and Marvin Van Velzen, who's had an opportunity already at tops. It's a different target. Can he do it?
Yes, he can!
And the Motor
Marvin
Super
is the
Series
man.
8 champion, Marvin
He
Van
wins
Velzen.
Super Series 8 and is the first Dutch player to succeed in Portsmouth. What a match that was. There's going to be a very emotional Marvin Army tonight. He wins by 4 legs to 3. And he was the only person in the final who got a match dart. And he is the first person to hit double 10 to win a series as well. I think the most important thing, Glenn, is that he's the first Dutch player to succeed here. What do you think?
Yeah, just give him his moment there. Look at him, because you can't bottle that 5, 10, 15 seconds, but he's done it. I mean, Jimmy Van Schie was the better player. It was all about timing. He was averaging round about 100 when Marvin was 10 points behind there. But Marvin Van Velzen won the bullseye behind 20 minutes before that game, and that proved pivotal in that match, Paul.
It did. 130 left for Jimmy Van Schie. He found 90 of them with a bullseye at the end, but he couldn't find that vital treble 20 that he needed. If he had, he would have had a shot for the title himself. But
Yeah.
Marvin, he just found the right things at the right times on throw.
Timing, absolute timing. Jimmy Van Schie went off the stage there, but he must see the positives. But it's all about Marvin Van Velzen. He's on the stage with Henry Deacon.
Marvin Van Velzen, the Modus Super Series champion. How does that sound?
Unbelievable, man. After that first game, I don't even notice it. It was just like hope to beat Derek and just go through to the semi-final. And then I beat Connor, and I was like, yeah, I can do this. And yeah, can't believe it still.
Earlier on in the night, when you lose that first game, you find yourself behind against Derek. What could you draw upon? What did you draw upon?
Sorry, once again?
We're getting that second game. What did you draw upon?
When I won it?
Yeah, when you, yeah.
Yeah, I was so happy, and just I didn't notice what the standings were, and I know that afterwards it was like, or it is a 9-dot shootout, so I could be ended first, or I was through. So I could be out also with a 9-dot shootout, but I thought I'm through, or I could be sank first. So that's what my positive mindset was. And then I know, and then Steve beat Derek, and I knew that I was through, and then, yeah, just went focused.
Let's talk about the final, because that swung one way, then another. Both players with opportunities in it. Let's go straight to that last leg. When Jimmy brings it back to 3-3, what's going through the mind?
Nothing. That's. I think that's why I won the last leg for myself. That you don't think anything, just went on, and then did I hit a 180 on the last leg? I guessed, but that made me feel so free to play that last leg. Yeah, just so relieved, so happy.
When that double 10 went in, if you're able to say it on air, what was the first thing you were thinking?
Yeah, that's thanks to my brother. That's his favorite double, and I knew I pointed to him like, I'm gonna hit it because you hit it so easily, and it was right above corner. I know, but still that mindset that helped me so much.
How important have them lot been, the Marvin Army, because they follow you everywhere they go, everywhere you go, don't they?
They are, like, Mike is already a whole week with me from Sportcafé Maasdijk. He's with me from Sunday morning till now, and when I reached the Saturday night, they went from 3:30 in the morning from Netherlands to here. So that made me feel so special just to do it for me, and also with my brother in here. It's super special, man.
When you look at this trophy, you'll get the chance to lift it in a second. Biggest thing you've ever done in darts?
Yeah, it definitely is now. Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, can describe it.
And is this the beginning of the Van Velzen journey? Does it feel like possibly the start of something for you?
I guess I know. Yeah, it is the beginning, but no, I don't know where it ends. It's a super nice achievement already, and yeah, we will see where it ends.
Well, in a few moments' time, you're going to get your moment. Marvin, many congratulations for the trophy presentation. Paul Starr.
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receiving the trophy, £25,000 the new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen.
What a moment for not just Marvin himself, but the Marvin Army, of course, who've come all the way from the Netherlands to support their man. An all-Dutch final they got, both Paul Nicholson and Glenn Durrant alongside me. Glenn, I'll start with you. It's a dream realised, this, isn't it?
Yeah, my mind is going back to how he's feeling right now, and it, like I say, it could be a sound foundation for him. And 25 grand maybe will set him up, but that 10 or 15 seconds when the winning double goes in, it's absolutely fantastic for him. He's been a creditor to the Modus Super Series. He's been a creditor to ADC Europe. I'm absolutely delighted for him.
Yeah, Modus memories made on the stage for Marvin, a family affair as well. What a moment for him, Paul.
Absolutely wonderful. And the way he was able to get through his night, it is going to be told for years. The ability to somehow get through that group when he was so close to being eliminated. And then, when he gets to the semi-finals, he goes up a notch. And then in the final, he protects his throw so well that he's never broken. He's the only person who got match darts in that final, and that's how you win.
Let's just talk about what it means to other people as well. You've both won major titles, but it's not just about you. It's about sharing those moments, which Marvin's doing now.
Yeah, and like I said, they played their part, and they were all so different. The Connor Scott family were very reserved and just little nods of the head. Then you had the Jimmy Van Schie Barmy Army just going crazy every time he did something. But he just got the balance right. The Marvin Army have travelled over, and for them to share that stage with him now, it's priceless. It's probably a real fairy tale moment for him.
And we got the thrilling final, Paul.
We did 2 in a row, 4-3. So bring on Series 9, I say. It's been a brilliant series, full of a lot of 4-3 finals, I'll say as well. And we just can't get enough of them. And let's face it, this format has been tested over the last couple of years. People have said maybe the final should be best of 9 or best of 11. Tish tosh. Let's keep it a best of 7 because it's brilliant.
Yeah, there is a certain beauty in that, and what a beautiful moment again for Van Velzen lifting the trophy. But let's just have a little word for the other player in that final, Glenn, Jimmy Van Schie. He's got a real love affair, and they love him as well. How disappointed will he be, or should he be disappointed?
Yeah, I think he'd be disappointed, but he probably thought he was out a couple of hours ago. But Jimmy Van Schie goes back all the way to 2011. He's been missing for a good 10 years. He's clearly got the appetite back to play darts, and what's happened to him the past few months is only going to be positive for him going forward now. And he's at Lakeside this year. Does he become real value for money there? Yeah, it's the future's really bright for Jimmy, and a great character.
I only think he made one mistake in that final. I don't think he did much wrong at all, but missing the treble 20 on 130, that's the only mistake he made. If he hits it, he's got a chance to win. He doesn't hit it, he loses. It's as simple as that.
And winning that bullseye before just shows how important it is in a best of 7.
Yeah, although the semi-finals, it wasn't important, was it? And the two favourites at that point you would have felt going out, as we saw Tom Sykes losing the group stages. But were you surprised to see this all-Dutch final tonight?
Yes, yeah, of course I was. I'd be lying if I didn't think Connor Scott and Steve West, the whole romance behind it, and incredibly disappointed Connor Scott walked off the stage. And Steve West, we did sort of call it a little bit where just a little niggle in the crowd, because I think the crowd have been brilliant tonight. You've got to accept that when it's an intimate atmosphere. And listen, I'm someone who did turn round. I was a Steve West, so you know what I mean? You've just got to be really strong up there, and the two that got to the final were.
You did well when they were booing you and Henry on the stage earlier on, though. But I'll give you your credit. You did actually pick Marvin Van Velzen. What did you see in him that you thought he could go and do this tonight?
Look, it's more not just about the judgment. The fact I was here when he won it that week, and I watched this player who hadn't had much success at the Modus Super Series, but he's evolving, he's growing as a player, and I just wanted him to do really well tonight, probably because I was here the week he won it there, and he's just going to get bigger and better, and it's just a great moment. He's got to enjoy tonight.
It's a game about keeping focus, Paul. You've got to do that right to the end. But finally, when that winning double goes in, what must it feel like? Or you'll know, what does it feel like when everything you've worked for has come to fruition?
It's a little bit of relief because it's a validation of all of the work that you've done. And as much as us dart players, we want to put in the work. We want to throw thousands upon tens of thousands of darts to make your dreams come true. When you hit that final shot, you don't want to throw anymore. You don't want to throw one more dart. All you want to do is get the moment, and you want to remember it. Get your fingerprints on the trophy. Do what they do in the NFL, which is get your fingerprints on that trophy and don't rub them off until you have to hand the trophy back. Look at that, though. That is a great double 10. It's nowhere near the 15. Even if he misses it high, he's still got another shot. So that was a very intelligent double 10.
Yeah, and you can see the release of emotion at the end, Glenn.
Yeah, I fell to the floor on mine. He's probably dreamt of that moment 1,000 times, and not once did I fall to the floor in my dreams. So that just is a pure reaction there. And if I could say something to him, just to go up there and just say, just soak it all in, remember it, because you do forget. But that 10 to 15 seconds is the best feeling in the world.
And you don't really want to take that dart out of the board. When he went to get the double 10, for a minute he's thinking, can I just leave it there until Monday morning? But unfortunately, he's got to take his darts with him.
Yeah, he certainly has. And also had the opportunity, of course, to lift the trophy on the Super Series stage. Look, outside of the very elite level of professional darts, there aren't many opportunities to do this in front of an audience. So what a moment that is.
I think it's the biggest prize in amateur darts now. I mean, you see what's happened to the World Masters, so then you're looking at sort of Lakeside as well, which for me doesn't have the same kudos since I left, of course, because it's all about me. But joking aside, this is, I mean, just look what it means to him. It's phenomenal, it's fantastic, and it's a new name, it's a new story, and well done to ADC Europe.
And the first big one for anybody must be pretty special. You remember that Players' Championship win, how it felt when you got your hands on that trophy? We won't say about what happened to the trophy after tonight.
Okay, I didn't drop it. I already told the newspapers that. But sometimes you're in such of a bit of a haze, and I'm not talking about the haze because of the effects in the live lounge. You're thinking about so many things at once that when somebody hands you that trophy, you think, is this actually mine? I remember when I won the Players' Championship finals and I turned to somebody from the northeast of England and I said, did that actually happen? You have to pinch yourself to realise that that's actually happened. And when Marvin was looking back at his family and friends, I don't think there was any doubt that that had just happened. I'm really thrilled for him because not many people will get their hands on that trophy. We have to go through 3 months of marathon darts to get the chance to see someone win the title. And when it's yours, you've just got to thrive for the next few days and say, nobody else has got that trophy but me.
Yeah, and not many people have got their hands on that trophy. He is now on the Roll of Honour, the Modus Super Series. We've had 8 series. Luke Littler won it twice. Just thinking back across all of those series, Glenn, difficult question, maybe a little bit of recency bias, but where does this win rank for you?
Like I said, the Andreas Harrison was the most spectacular ending that you're ever going to see. I was there when Raymond Smith did it and was on a flight back to Australia. The Luke Littler legacy is going to last forever. But Marvin's up there, whether it's the best or the worst, he's done it. You know what I mean? He's evolving as a player. He's a young player. Imagine what that's going to do for him going into the future now.
I just want to say, Paul, as well, Glenn mentioned the Luke Littler legacy. Does how this ranks depend on what happens next for Marvin Van Velzen?
Potentially. I think there will be extra pressure on him wherever he goes from here, and he will have a chance to defend the title, I'm sure, before Christmas. Imagine if he was to go on and do that. But I think the legacy of Marvin winning tonight, and if Jimmy had won as well, it's the fact that ADC Europe have a Dutch champion for the first time. And now all those Dutch kids who all throw darts day in, day out, they'll think, I want to do what Marvin's done.
Well, the Modus Super Series is like that diet that I've been on. It starts again on Monday, and Double Trouble is the next thing in line for you to enjoy. Before the next series gets underway, a special week, double start, double finish. You've both played in that format, and this is an interesting cast list, isn't it, for that kind of dangerous event.
Yeah, very much so. You've got a lot of people in Group A, people like Duff, because he's the defending champion. You've got Richie Bennett, who's played in a stack of World Grand Prix. You've got Robert Thornton, who's won a World Grand Prix. And then you've got Scott Mitchell, who's never played double-star darts, apparently. So it'll be a really good baptism of fire for Scott come Monday morning. But my pick for next week, because considering the man to my right actually got his pick right, I'm going to go for Jeff Smith.
Any advance on Smith?
I really like Robert Thornton because of the double start. I mean, you get a lot of players like Ryan Joyce, I think, can win a Grand Prix because he's just absolutely incredible on the doubles there. It feels like a bit of a leveller. That Group A looks really tasty, by the way.
Yeah, Neil Duff's defending his title there. He didn't quite make it to finals night on Champions Week. Steve West is going to be back really early in the next series, so he'll have a chance. And the next thing, I suppose, there's another Champions Night before the end of 2024. Van Velzen, could he do the unthinkable and do the double?
There's no reason why not, because his confidence will be soaring right now. But what he's got to remember is if he wants to get another one, he's got to work maybe even harder than he's worked to get that one. Because now you don't take your foot off the pedal. You don't swim in the success and expect it again. You work even harder to get more of it. But I think the best thing about Series 9 is we're going to crown that champion just before Christmas.
And what's been the best thing about Series 8, Glenn? What have we learned? Who have we learned about in this series?
Yeah, it's just the fact that it's so competitive now. I do talk an awful lot on comms as well at what it means. It's the Modus qualifiers, Northeast, Southeast regions tomorrow as well. It's what it means to so many players. Young players are coming through. It was a real young final there. It does feel at times it's a young man's game. But Marvin Van Velzen, he was the top of the tree and well deserved. Let him enjoy it. Don't worry about Series 9 just yet, Marvin.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for this evening. We'll see you again soon. Hope to see you again soon as well after what's been another magical night here at the Modus Super Series. But in the end, it was Marvin's moment.